Hey guys, this video I'm going to show you the setup I used for 3-starring the section 1 of TIMESPACE Junction, and then I'll go over what I'm doing to prepare for section 2 of the junction. So the first thing first, we're going to do Meliodas and Gila. I'm going to show you their setup, what I'm planning to use tomorrow. So let's go over to Meliodas first. We have 20,500 attack. It's not too high, right? And then if we go over to his stats, we have 37% crit rate, which is kind of low, and then 90% crit damage. So usually I use the Arachne set, which gives me a little bit more crit chance. I'll show you that in a second. And then we have 5,000 darkness attack and 4,300 darkness attack increase. So overall, it's looking pretty good. If I go over to the weapons, we have it limit broken to level 3. You get some darkness attack from there. The skill doesn't really help you that much. It's more towards ultimate move, but you saw I ulted a couple times. If you haven't seen that run, I'll still have it at the end of this video. And then we have darkness attack increase. If this was crit rate and crit damage instead of crit resistance and cooldown reduction, it would have been perfect, but I'm too lazy to re-roll this, so I just left it. But overall, not a bad roll. If you have something better, I think you could easily do it much quicker. And then we have a max attack roll on the enchant, so 800 plus 3,100. We have 3,900. That gets 30% of that into our attack stat. This one I had a proper stat enchanted, but I was like, I need some more attack, so I went with equipment attack. But because I never really used dual flame swords, I was like, you know what, whatever, it doesn't even matter. Like for Escanor, I wouldn't do this setup where equipment attack on one piece and the other. I would probably take this axe and put it on him if I was using the axe as a stat stick. So I already went over this in my other video. I'm going to link it at the end if you want to check it out. But so that's it for the Meliodas weapons. If you go down to armor, we have a level 128 piece, not too bad. We have 1600 darkness attack, and then the engraving bonuses are all pretty trash. Nothing's really giving me that much damage. Maybe a little bit of attack skill damage, but like that doesn't even matter. If this was crit chance, crit damage, attack, darkness damage, I don't think you can get darkness damage, but you get the point, right? If there was something DPS related, this would be so much better. But we have a level 2 skill, so I was like not too upset. So for the run itself, I used this setup, the 2 pieces for crit damage and then the crit chance piece, because I have a 5% attack on this, but you can use, I'll just put it back on right now because I don't need it anymore. You can just use a 3-piece Arachne set that you're going to have similar results. I was able to do the 216 run with Arachne. So once I put down the crit damage, I had to get lucky with some crits, and then I was able to do it under 2 minutes. And then if I go to show you my potential, we have obviously potential 5. Just makes it easier to reset your skills, and that way you're doing the normal skill a lot more often. So that is it for the Meliodas build. Nothing too crazy. If I go over to Gila now, we have nothing crazy in here, maybe a little bit of burst efficiency. So we have 33% all burst and 40% fire burst. I try to roll something, I'll show you in a second. If I go over to weapons, these two are level 50. This is Escanor's. I brought it over for a little bit more attack, but it didn't really help me. And then this is from before that I gave it to her, and I never took it off. So here we have the rapier. We have 13% elemental burst efficiency. I do have a few other rapiers, but I was like, I'll just use this one. And enchant, I tried to get fire burst efficiency a few times. I rolled like 5 times, didn't get it. I was like, you know what, whatever, I give up, because it's just so much of a chore to get the enchants. So I left it, and if I did have fire burst efficiency, if you can get it, then it's going to be a lot quicker, because you spend so much time just bursting with the Gila that if you can bring it down, you have more time to actually do damage with Meliodas. So that's it for her weapons. If you go over to her gear set, nothing crazy. Level 1 passive, and then level 122. If I got some engraving bonus for all burst efficiency, that would also be really helpful, or magic charging efficiency, but it's not a big deal. You just need this set to actually get that fire burst efficiency and then get the passive. And then I use this set, again, chance-based bonus. If you have all burst efficiency, fire burst efficiency, all of those are good. I have healing efficiency, like it doesn't even help me. But you just want the passive for 15% burst efficiency, and then you get some ultimate move damage. So I ulted like twice, maybe, I think, or 3 times with Meliodas, and that helped out a little bit with this. That is it for the gear. We have potential 5, nothing crazy. So if you do the normal skill on a burned enemy, just reduces the cooldown of the normal skill by 2 seconds. So that's not too bad, right? I think you can do it with potential 4. It's just going to be a little bit trickier, but you probably cannot 3-star it with just these 2 units if you have potential for Meliodas, just because you're not hitting the reset on the skill that often. That's it for the floor 1 part. If you're enjoying the video so far or you found that helpful, please consider subscribing. We're almost at 800. And if you are a subscriber, consider becoming a member. It's only like $1 or $2. Anyway, for section 2, it's going to be Ice and Holy. You guys probably have seen some videos on this, but I wanted to give my own spin on this, what I will be doing. The only thing that you probably need, honestly, honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. I think you don't even need an ice unit. So the weaknesses are going to be ice and holy. And if I go over to my heroes, we do have like everybody I would need. We have Manny, we have Jericho, and we have Escanor. So I don't have, as you can see, Jericho or Manny built. They're literally the first star I got, I just lost it on them. But if I were to build them out, we would have potential 4. And then if I wanted to, I could use an SSR selector to get somebody to potential 5. I don't know if I would do that, but overall, we're looking pretty good. And I do have Daisy at potential 7. So worst case scenario, I'll just use Daisy with Escanor and then clear it. But I think the only unit you're really going to need, honestly, is going to be Escanor Unholy. And then if you can, like I said from my previous video, if you have fully built equipment like this, not this one, but a fully limit broken, and then if you have 2 weapons as stat sticks, like this Meliodas axe, if I throw it on here, let's go over to the greatsword. We're going to put it on. All right, so let's put the ring back on because I don't need it for Meliodas anymore. We're going to go back. Let's see how much attack we have. So we have 18,000. We're going to put on this axe from Meliodas. And then we should have about also 18,000. So now if I go over to the greatsword, because I have already limit broken this axe of Escanor to level 3, you can see we got 3,900 attack, which is basically the same as the max equipment attack on a legendary weapon. You get 3,900. So there's no point switching this in and out. We can just leave it. And so we have 18,000 attack. And then maybe if I had this built right here, all the way, and then I put this on, we would be at maybe 18,500 attack. So that's not too bad, but again, I'm not too worried about it. I'm just gonna leave it like this. And yeah, just make sure you have Escanor built. Here, I don't really know if it's worth going the burn route. You could do attack percent enchant, which you would use the regular holy beads for. So let me show you. So if I go to enchant, and then these have attack percent in them. As you can see at the top, up to 7%, but the elemental ones don't have attack percent. So you're going for the holy damage instead of the burn damage. The attack percent is what increases your burn damage, which is good for fire weakness stages, but this is going to be holy. So I would recommend if you have some holy beads, use them to get something good on here. Maybe holy damage, holy attack, crit chance, crit damage. Overall, my role here is not too bad because you do a lot of normal attacks. Your ultimate does a lot of damage and everything is holy. So I got kind of lucky. Could be a little bit better if I had a 4th role, but my team, maybe, as of right now, that I will try, is going to be something like this. I mean, Gil Thunder's in there just because I want to have a burst to trigger. So if I go to combined attack hero, we have 4 bursts with Daisy, and that's something I could consider. Deanne is there for healing. I don't think we're going to need healing, but the attacks are pretty easy to dodge. And then maybe I could switch in something like a buffer with Manny. I don't know if Manny has a combined ultimate with Daisy. So they do, but it's 5. So that's something else to consider, but maybe I'll try that with Manny, Daisy, and then Escanor. But overall, like, just make sure you have Escanor holy built. I think you'll be fine. And of course, I'll put out the video tomorrow when the mode launches, and you guys can see if I was right or wrong. And so if you haven't seen my 2-minute clear where I just used Meliodas and Gila, I'm going to put this fight in right now. Go ahead and take a look. And other than that, if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Again, we're almost at 800. So thank you to everybody that subscribes. I will see you tomorrow when we try and clear this. Until next time, guys.